So now we're going to try anchoring without the quick release. Okay, so the first thing we can do is dispense with this, the mooring buoy, and dispense with the quick release cord as well. So simply unclip this, okay, and you can store this in your hold, clip it into the crate in the back of the kayak, okay, so you don't need this anymore. Okay, so now we've got the anchor system without the buoy. Make sure first of all that your anchor trolley is unclipped and it's alongside you in the cockpit. Okay, so it's all ready. Next thing that we do is simply paddle to our chosen spot and literally buoy the anchor. So we put it over the side and we depress the free spool lever and we literally drop the anchor in, and now we're drifting down with the tide. Okay, now it's really important that you make sure you keep your finger on the free spool, on the clutch, on the diver's reel, because if you're drifting down tide and this goes straight at the moment, you'll be pulled broadside onto the tide, alright, and that's what you don't want. So you must always have your finger on the free spool lever. Okay, so you let out line just as you do with the quick release system. You let out 2 or 3 times the depth of the water that you're in. Might even need more if the tide's running. Okay, so you keep letting it out. Then you clip it. Clip the anchor line into your carabiner on the anchor trolley. Alright, and remember to keep your hand on the free spool lever. And now I'm clipped in. Okay, can you see that? Now, again, it's important as you shuttle the anchor trolley to the back of the kayak, again, keep letting out line with the anchor reel. It's really important. Okay, and still keep letting that line out. It's really important. Okay, lock off your anchor trolley using your cleat. Make sure it's locked off, and then the kayak will start to turn. Okay. Still keep your hand on the free spool lever and make sure you let line out. Make sure you've got your knife close on your PFD, so if anything goes wrong you can just cut the line. Okay? And then all you do is quite simply just clip, use the same clip that you clip the anchor buoy into, clip it onto the handle or onto a pad eye or onto anything fixed on the kayak. Okay, and now you're anchored up. Okay, so no anchor buoy, alright, this time, but we're anchored up, we're connected via the anchor trolley at the back direct to the anchor. We're not going anywhere, we've got no quick release. Okay, the only ways of releasing quickly with this system are literally either to cut the warp or to unclip yourself using the clip. Alright? So that's how you anchor up without the quick release. And this method is particularly useful if you're anchoring up in fast tide or somewhere where you wouldn't want to come back to use your buoy to the same position. So that's the only drawback of this. Once you up anchor, you can't go back. Okay? Right, so now we're going to see how you retrieve the anchor with using a non-quick release system. Okay, so we're locked in position. We've got the anchor behind us, we've got the anchor trolley locked, and we've got the diver's reel locked in position. So, the first thing that we do is take hold of the reel and make sure it's in a position where you can release line if you have to. Okay? Now, very difficult for me to show you this because you need a lot of hands, but basically you need to shuttle the trolley and release line at the same time. So I'm going to try and talk you through this, but it all happens quite quickly, so bear with me. So, release the anchor trolley, pull it forwards, unclip your anchor line, and let out some line. Clip your anchor line into the forward trolley. If you haven't got one, then all you have to do is shuttle your existing trolley to the front of the kayak, but I've got 2 anchor trolleys. Now what will happen, remember you're still clipped in, okay? So now what will start to happen is the kayak will start to turn. Again, make sure you've got your finger on the free release, on the spool to release line, and shuttle the front anchor trolley forward, okay? And if you're in a lot of tide, you probably have to release line at the same time as you do this. So you can see with one hand I'm releasing line, with the other I'm pulling the front trolley forward, okay? Now the kayak will turn into the tide, or in our case into the flow of the river, and we'll be facing the other way, facing into the current, okay? So there you go. Lock the front trolley off, so the front trolley can't go anywhere. And then all we do is the front trolley's locked in position, the reel's locked in position, we're facing towards the tide, we simply pull the anchor warp in and spill it onto the same side behind you so that it's out of the way. And as you're pulling it, you'll actually, 9 times out of 10, you'll be pulling the kayak towards the anchor rather than the anchor towards the kayak. So keep pulling. And remember that carabiner on the front of the kayak, it's locked. It can't go anywhere because it's locked. So we will get to a certain point and keep pulling, and eventually you'll be over the anchor and you'll start to pull the anchor up. You can see here we're starting to pull the anchor up now. And here we go. And again, if you're stuck on something, then your quick release should release at this point when you give it a sharp tug. Right, now one hand on the anchor warp, you can see the chain that's just appeared. Release your trolley and pull it back towards you at the same time. So now you've got hold of the chain, unclip the anchor warp, pull the anchor on board, get hold of your diver's reel. Now you're drifting with the tide, remember, and simply wind in your slack, and that's it, job done. And now you're off anchor. Okay, and then simply stow your anchor in the crate and paddle away. And that's it. So you can see it's a lot quicker and a lot simpler than using the quick release method. But the disadvantage is you can't just up anchor quickly and then come back to the same spot because you haven't got, there's no anchor buoy to go back to. So it's a useful, I like it when the tide's strong and, you know, in a situation where you wouldn't want to use the quick release because it would drag your anchor buoy under. So it's a good method and I use it quite a lot. I tend to chop and change between quick release and this method depending on the conditions and the tide. So it's nice to have both of those systems as options, really. And that's it. It's as simple as that. That's how you do it. So thanks very much.